Hi folks, welcome to Barcelona, one of the very few circuits I've actually been to in real life, and we're at the historic layout, which is actually closer to modern day F1 layout than what we have already. So anyway, good layout. It has the good final last two corners, which this car does like a lot, although the very fast corner does need a dab of brakes through there, which is quite sketchy because if you go too wide you get an off track, and there's gravel out there, which is not good considering it's on a massive start finish straight. Anyway, Barcelona, let's crack on with it. Right then, fast lap done and dusted, and let me show you the info. We did use, I swear, the fixed iRacing Barcelona setup for this, because that's what I always use, and I do follow the 6 series. I don't follow the open one because it requires an open setup to be a bit more competitive. Anywho, track tempo of 85 Fahrenheit, so medium-ish cool, and a moderate usage of 44% is what I always use for these guides. Now, the cheeky little lap I'm going to show you is not my fastest lap, which was a little bit light on fuel at 21.3. It's actually going to be lap 30, so third lap into this stint of a 21.681. So I think that's kind of sort of mid-21s. Once the fuel comes off a little bit, you can get into the low 21s. Possibly the aliens will be in the 20s. I highly suspect that. And in the open setup, we might even see into the 19s, which would be rapid, to be honest. But I think the open setup will have slightly higher downforce because you just hit VMAX at the end of the start-finish straight. But obviously, there's a lot of sort of fast-ish corners where the downforce should really be piled onto the car. So I think it'll be much, much quicker on the infield. The open setup, I think, will be quicker. Otherwise, what else do I mention around here? Not a bad circuit, nice big open flowing circuit this is. Turn 5 right here is a little bit tricky, so bear that in mind as you're hurtling around there. Seems to be a corner that takes forever to get around, and it's quite slow as well. One of the slowest corners on the circuit, I believe now. It might actually be the slowest corner on the circuit, to be honest. Maybe turn 10 is a little bit slower, but who knows? But yeah, I think a good circuit, plenty of opportunity to spin, particularly coming out of turn 3, which is a bit weird because you're on the power and third and fourth gear, you can wheel spin out of there, so be cautious about that one. And yellow sausage curbs, if we just see it blink past there, be cautious of them. If you do see a yellow sausage curb, avoid it like the plague. Yeah, I think that's about everything. Oh yeah, OLAP, BLAP telemetry and replay file will all be in my Discord for you. And also we use Garage61, which is an online telemetry tool. Very, very useful, not affiliated with them, just think it's very useful to add track guides where you can compare my lap against yours, just in case you need to find them few tenths or even half a second. Otherwise, if this did help you out, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I love YouTube stuff. And yeah, let's crack on with the breakdown lap. Right then, long start finish straight here. Going to be dive bombs into turn 1 and plenty of slipstream and plenty of boost out of here as well. So look out for it into turn 1 because it is quite tricky. Looking for the 100 meter board here on the left hand side. Brake in a straight line, lip the card and hover over the curb here on the left. Turn in very easy. Get as close as you dare to that yellow sausage curb. Do not touch any of them. Feeding the power around here of turn 2. This is where carnage can happen because if you're going too wide, it can be quite awkward through here. This corner is very nearly flat, but you want to lift off nice and early. Get the car onto the curb, and as you pass that sort of post, the marshal post there on the left hand side, you want to ease the power and let the car drift out. Don't drift out too far wide because there is an off track out there, so be cautious about the one as well. Hover over the curb and straddle this curb here on the left hand side. Just before you get to the bridge, you want to stand on the brakes and turn it into the corner here. Nice and easy through here. The rear end does want to step out gently, but ease it round now. Feeding the power once you're mostly way around it, and be careful of the snap oversteer. Right about now, you see me steering and counter steering it for whatever reason. Top of third into fourth, very wheel spinny. The little light you can see there on the right hand side, brake nice and easy, downhill this one, so be cautious, and it's an off camber corner, so get onto the curb, keep that inside tyre rolling and feeding the power on exit. Be careful of the off track, do not run too far wide on this curb, there's an off track out there, very, very frustrating. Coming under the bridge now, you want to keep the car as shortest straight line as possible, bring it over to the right hand side now, and at the start of this curbing here, you want to put a tyre on it, brake down a cog, and do not take too much apex curb here, it will just make you jump and run wide. Then that yellow sausage curb right there is there to greet you and tear your rear wing off, or front wing, sorry. Be very, very cautious through there, very easy to get it wrong. Use the curbing here to use the end of it to turn in marker, big lift, make sure you apex after the yellow sausage curb out there, because it really does rotate the car on that curb, really handy. And again, stupid little off track here on the left hand side there, so be cautious. You can use boost down here, don't think it'll be too beneficial because you're going to use some slow corners and you're going to waste time on the boost, but just off the 100-meter board, but before the gantry sign, brake very, very deep into this corner, very fun. Get to the apex, let the car settle down, and then as it starts to rotate, feed in that power and get a good exit as best you can. Going to be a lot of spinners in this corner, so be careful of the rear end. Keep the car to the left hand side, and just you get to this curbing here, this is when we want to brake and sort of turn in. Same as before, brake and turn in at the same time, nice and easy. Let the car settle down. As soon as you see this yellow sausage curb here, start feeding the power gently, nice late apex and a straight line on exit. There's not a lot of curbing on the left hand side, so bear that in mind. Keep straddling it as you go around, and then as the curbing ends about now and you go over the crest, you can see the cones, so use them as a marker, and then you can take a lot of curb here, not too much because you will get a slowdown, and you can take a lot here as well without any problems. Avoid the yellow sausage curb again, and then as it comes to the end of the yellow sausage curb, that's your turning point. Brakes on the way in, down into 5th gear, full throttle before the apex if you can, and run a little bit wide, not too far because you will get an off track again, and probably you could use boost out of that corner as well. I'd probably use boost out the second to last corner as well, and you'd be golden. The line does appear very, very quickly, so it's not going to be a last lap shootout, to be honest, with Slipstream, but this is a very fun, very fast circuit, and this car does suit it around here, so I'm very, very looking forward to it. But that is us across the line in a 1:12.681. So I think I can go a little bit faster around there, but who knows what will happen on race day. Looking forward to this week. Hopefully we can gain some safety rating, because at the moment mine is absolutely in the bin, and this is week 12 of season 4. So last week to get your safety rating above 2, otherwise you can risk demotion in week 13. Otherwise, if you did like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I love YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one.